Good morning to everyone. Going to be doing some workouts, bike exercise to be exact. Oh, see how long I could go. Yesterday I was playing chess, but I forgot to share. I don't know. It was like something wrong. Something happened when I clicked share, so the screen didn't share. So I saw the playback. I was I was just talking and playing chess, but you couldn't see my games. I guess that was a good thing, but um, yeah, I didn't share the screen on StreamYard, so you didn't see it. But uh, you know, you wasn't missing much. I mean, the only thing I could say, I beat quite a few countries that I normally have a hard time with. But you didn't see it. I mean, I posted my profile so you could see my wins and losses. I was actually thinking about doing like a report or a database of like all of the wins I had versus losses, the different countries, like who I what countries I'm really good at and favorable at beating versus the ones I have the hardest times with. Just thinking about doing that. Um, I think my main game that I normally play is standard chess. I think it's called, and ain't no way I can probably do that as far as with that because it's just. I mean, they would chess.com would have to do that because I think because I started my chess.com. When did I start that bad boy? Man, it's I've probably been a member for like going on or close to 20 years. So I probably had like over probably 10,000 games or something. So in order to do all of that, that's just not possible. As far as me trying to do that, it's not that big of a deal. I kind of know off the top of my head who I um who I play a lot and whatnot. I know for a fact just off of the sheer games that I've had because it's just so me. I guess India has like a billion people, so they have a lot of internet cafes. Uh, they can play. I don't know if like China chess.com is blocked in China. I'm not sure or how that works or whatever, but or they even really play chess like that in China. But for India has a history of chess. Some people say chess was started in Africa. Some people say chess was started in India. So they play a lot of chess. They do have internet. They do have internet. They got a lot of IT uh, infrastructure. So uh, you got a billion people with access to the internet. All over or whatever. Probably different remote parts might be difficult, but then you probably, I don't know, somebody set up a phone, set up some type of WLAN or something like that could resolve that. But yeah, they have a lot of internet access, so a lot of people. I play a lot of people from India, so you know, I know for a fact I got a lot of wins with India. Um, Probably because it's just so many users that are India based or whatever. So I was saying some good shit, man. Like I sometimes I come up with ideas, man, on a live stream. Like it's kind of like a meeting, having a meeting. I know a lot of people don't really like work meetings, but you come up with some good ideas a lot of times when you have a meeting or when you talk things out, you know. And I am gonna make that T-shirt. Your clarity is therapy. You know, I will make that. I'll put that up on my website, brokegeniuses.com. I'll put that up there. But yeah, I mean it's, you know, I really, it was like, man, just working some things out in my mind, but that's gonna help people. You might think because whatever people ain't really rocking with you, whatever. See, here's the thing, like, right? I'll talk about that, right? I'll talk about that. I'll break that down. I know the full spectrum in the psychology of that. Okay, one, I really don't have no filters, man. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't have no filters, man. Like, I just don't. I don't really have it, but like in certain periods, my filters are off. Like for example, right? This retrograde coming in, um, I'm not gonna go into that, but a lot of times, I'll be thinking something, and then I'm doing a diet change too. My diet has changed. Uh, the thing is that when it comes down to it, like I pretty much have really offended a lot of people over the course of a long period of time. I have hurt a lot of both men and women. Sometimes people really favor men or they favor women. I have offended both men and women. I mean, whatever. Uh, I mean, every classification you can think of, I have offended them. I've offended a lot of people. I've hurt people's feelings. I've triggered people. If you catch some of my live streams and if you really kind of put like a magnifying glass on my channel, so every now and again somebody will post a comment, be on some troll stuff. People have come into my lives and trolled. I've definitely triggered quite a bit of people. People stop coming around and shit. You like, damn, did this motherfucker go to the hospital or something? Did he, did he, is he still alive or whatever? And then you hear the motherfucker on another person's channel. It's like, oh, okay. He just, I've offended him one too many times. It's like, I get it. I totally, it is what it is, man. It's really, really funny to me. I'm not here for a popularity contest. I mean, I really don't care, man. This is like kind of scientific to me. I look at it like, oh, let me learn from this, because I mean, I do certain things to try to make this experience enjoyable for myself as well as others. I mean, I do pay for StreamYard. I mean, I pay for other things, but thing is, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, I really, I really, I'll say, I'm, I'm not really, um, like I said, I mean, I'm pretty good at other things, a lot of other things. So my YouTube channel being the most hated channel on YouTube or whatever, I don't know, or one of them, I really don't care. I really, I really do. I promise you, I do not care. It's been times that I thought about like, damn, this is, but at the end of the day, as long as I'm successful, I mean, I really don't care. I really don't care about the views and all of it. Really don't care. I promise you I don't. Yeah, I promise you, I really don't care. You know, because I know people that really enjoy my content so much that they're willing to, copy my ideas and everything like that. So, I'm like, your favorite YouTuber's favorite YouTuber, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm humble with that, and I see it, and I deal with, I deal with it, and it's, I move on. I don't let it frustrate me. I don't let it get my blood pressure up. I'm not coming on here cussing your ass out, you know what I'm saying? None of that, Um, like other people have, and unfortunately those people are no longer here. But I'm not about to do that, you know. Um, just gonna try to be as humble as I possibly can. You know, I, you know, hey, I don't put everything. Some stuff I have, a lot of my content is still on Patreon. I mean, you know, uh, sometimes people. I see people boycott you. I see even on YouTube, people boycott you on YouTube. It's like they boycott your channel and they think you're gonna stop. The whole goal, the ultimate goal is no doubt for you to fade away into the abyss and stop what you're doing. Because I'm about to ruin the image that your style that you used to. My name is Humpty. Like that's the ultimate goal, is that you fade away to abyss and your self-confidence shrinks because no one paying attention to you. Don't give him any shine. Here's another thing, right? There's cliques and camps and all this other shit, right? So there might be like a Discord, and this is another thing. It's a lot of shit that goes into this, right? And it's real petty. It's funny though, because I mean, I legitimately, um, I'm fine, Um, my house is fully paid for. I have a garage. I have, what is it? The 19th of November. I had nobody call me talking about where's my mortgage payment. Somebody called me. I had nobody call me talking about where's my rent payment. I mean, you know, you can add that to your little hurt feelings about me telling my reality and my truth and you being hurt by it. You can add that to the mix. Add that to your hurt, okay? Tell that to your therapist when you sit on the couch about who else hurt you and add that to it. So in the end of the day, you know, um, I'm still a work in progress, no doubt. Um, a lot of thoughts are coming to me because my diet has changed. My brain is working very, very well. So it's kind of like I hear people talking about mushrooms, and when they say, I heard people talking about mushrooms where some of your worst fears or your thoughts they come back to you, and you've been suppressing them and stuff like that, stuff that you forgot about and all that. Like I've never took no psychedelic mushrooms. I'm actually kind of scared to indulge in that. Um, you know, and but the thing is that I'm I'm thinking of things that, yeah, like all of the wars and stuff that I've had, all of the battles that I've had, they're coming back to me where it's like, damn, I had to overcome that. God damn, I did that. Oh shit, all of these things, all of these suppressed thoughts, and it's like I haven't took any mushrooms. It's just I did a diet change, and a lot of these things that were just being, I guess, suppressed have come back into my memory, and just things that I just forgot about, thought about, haven't thought about in years, and just memories and stuff like that. So it's really surreal. It's like, you know, um, it's fine, but it's like the thing. I say that to say, uh, sometimes you can even forget how cold you are, how raw you are, how talented you are, how skilled you are, you know, um, so on and so forth. I mean, you'll forget that, if you're not careful to. Uh, so it's like, yeah, I really don't care, man. I promise you I don't care. I do not care one bit. Because at the end of the day, uh, you know, um, hey, I look at it like I'm on top of Mount Olympus, and I'm up there, and I'm basically just chilling, man. You know, I'm pretty much uh on some Clash of the Titans type shit. I've been on that for like a long time. You know what I'm saying? So that's why a lot of times you really can't really. I mean, if you really try to listen to me, like I've talked to people, and I've given you. Let me tell you something about somebody that has like a strong mind power than somebody else. If you talk to somebody that is not on your same wavelength, you can give them a headache. I mean, people even say that, like, man, you make my head hurt. Like, I got a headache now, because for them to grasp your thoughts, your ideas, um, your words, it's just it's like it's kind of like it's kind of it's kind of like it's funny, but what's dude name? Yeah, Soul Provider Speaks. He was like uh a lot of people still Windows 98. Well, if you got some software that was developed for Windows 10, and your ass trying to motherfucking formulate um so like Windows 10 software, Windows 98, it's not gonna work. Or Windows 95, that shit gonna fucking crash. So DJ Cuda, what's up? What's up? What's up, DJ Cuda? Um, let's see here. Says shrooms is good, but after 3 grams, you finna trip. It's pretty good. life changing you. Gotta have a good trip. It's good to know you're not too in control of your life. Let's see here, but when you take them, you'll know exactly what you're in control of. Best music experience, um, listening experience, also. Yeah, shoot. I will eventually. I think what I'll do, I plan on. I'll probably be on some hippie shit. I can tell you that's what you like, man. You pretty much a bohemian. Shout out to Ron Wills, man. You know, he near you too, over there on the East Coast. Um yeah, man, I'd probably be on some bohemian shit if I did it. It's like these retreats they have where like they be in the forest and shit. You know, if you know, you know. If you don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna let you know. You're gonna have to pay me to let you know. Cause um yeah, that's another thing, man. People be talking about that people don't want to be paid, and you making money, you a shyster or a grifter and all that, man. You go fuck yourself. You go tell that to them valuetainment motherfuckers, man. Is kicking, is literally taking off. They talking to billionaires and shit, doing interviews with billionaires and shit. Talking about racism is a choice and all this other goofy shit, or saying there's no such thing as racism. Go talk to them. But um, yeah, I'll probably do it in a controlled setting, at least around some people that can at least call the police, or not so much the police, but call 911 basically for the paramedics, man. You know what I'm saying? A fucking padded room or some shit, because I'm definitely not about to do no fucking mushrooms by my goddamn self. I know it's been brave people that have, and you gotta understand, right? Like, I can call my homie right now. I think he's still at work doing a graveyard shift. He works as like a nursing home or something. But if I talk to somebody that's a paramedic, EMT, work for the fireman or whatever, because basically a lot of people don't know a fireman is also an EMT, but an EMT is not a fireman. Okay. Um, in the Navy, in boot camp, they teach you firefighting. That's why a lot of people that are in the fire, they work it as work as a fireman. When they get out of the Navy, they go work to be a fireman, because they already give you the training in the Navy. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is that when it comes to shrooms and all that, I bet you they got some stories about people doing shrooms, and somebody had to call 911 because they was walking they was walking out down the street butt naked and shit like that, you know, um, that type of stuff. So, yeah, but yeah, I mean, as far as like people and whatnot, I've triggered so many people. Cause see, this money thing is the most triggering. The money thing is the most triggering, I would say. Um, the sex stuff is triggering, but the money thing is even more triggering than the sex. You can go have sex, but making money is not necessarily easy like that. It's really controlled until you know how to work it, and what factors are involved in it, because it's not necessarily just about cash. It's not one-sided. A lot of things are not just one-sided. This is just like anything else. It's just like anything else. This capitalistic system this money system or whatever. It's psychological. Um, it's spiritual, you can even say, and physical. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't have control over your mind, you don't have the discipline to save money or know how to, research and use your brain to make more money to, you don't know how to sell stuff and stuff like that. You're gonna be limited in your abilities to make a living. For whatever thing you don't do, all you gotta understand is there's somebody already out there doing what you are not doing. And they're already ahead. They're already making money in their business and their company. And they've been doing it. So the thing is that that money thing is a soft spot. And I get it. Like some people, I understand. I'm not retarded. I'm a fucking teacher. I'm a computer teacher. I was a computer teacher. Before that, I was a teacher's assistant. I know, people, even myself, I wasn't born with a silver spoon. I wasn't born with a gold spoon, So I get it. And I told one of my homies that, it's like, man, don't tell me what I gotta do. I understand that. But you had your mom give you $5,000 on a credit card. My mom didn't give me $5,000 on a credit card. She actually gave me more money than that, but as far as like over time, but she didn't give me no $5,000 credit card. But she's done a lot of things. She did a lot of things for me, but it's like I had to learn a way to be disciplined. Your discipline might not work for somebody else. Somebody else has to do something different. They have to find a way for them to be disciplined, and that discipline was something that I had to figure out on my own. And it's not easy. I mean, obviously, it's definitely not easy, but that's just money. That's just saving money and stuff like that. A lot of things are health related, A lot of things are outside of that. It is health related. And that's hard too. But you got dudes that they broke and they fucking out of shape and they fat. And it's like, you gotta choose one, You can't be broke and out of shape and busted. That should be a rule. That should be like a new rule. And I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I'm definitely working on that. I mean, I'm I'm not, broke, but I damn sure don't want to be out of shape. I don't want to be, all big and shit, looking like, everybody can't play in the NFL. Everybody can't play football and just fit in. I'm not playing football anymore, so I don't need to be that big. I don't need to look like I'm about to motherfucking tackle a tight end over the fucking middle. That's just not necessary, and that comes from eating all of that big ass bulls and Angus cows and all of that shit, man. You are what you eat. Elijah Muhammad, you know what I'm saying? You are what you eat. If you got you got leg problems, probably eating too much chicken. Chicken, you got chicken legs. Chicken head. Chicken. For real. Like it really gets freakish. Like when if I really uninterrupted and just really had a conversation, and I had to worry about, well, not even so much worry about, but if I really, really got down as far as me talking and telling what I really know, it'll be a fucking horror movie, a horror story. A fucking like you'll start to get scared. So And then another thing, here's another thing, man. If you want to go really, really down the rabbit hole, really put on the tinfoil hat, that's another thing. When you start, if you're not ready for like conversations, certain conversations or whatever, you're gonna fucking be so scared and so paranoid. They're gonna call the ambulance and take your ass to a mental hospital because you're not mentally able to digest that information. That's why you don't tell your kids stuff. You don't tell your kids everything, because their conscience is not able to really handle that. You tell them something and they'll instantly get scared because they don't really know, they don't know how to break that down in their small brains as far as what they know. They gotta figure things out, and they need time to figure things out a lot of times. Now, some kids are forced to figure things out, but that's a whole nother story. But yeah, I mean, you trying to listen to somebody that they they way ahead as far as like what they know and all of that, and you try to be on the same level playing field with them as far as what your conversation or even your thoughts, you thinking about what they're saying, you'll have probably some type of eventual nervous breakdown. And I get it. I mean, I know people don't want to talk about the time they had to go talk to Doctor um Dr. Coleman, and Dr. Coleman gave them a prescription, you know, what I'm saying, because they were, they had a nervous breakdown. A lot of these things happen, and definitely they happen. And then for both women and men, and they don't talk about that. They don't have they're embarrassed to talk about that. Part of the reason why they don't trust men is because they had a nervous breakdown because some dude left them and cheated on them or some shit like that. And they don't want to tell you that story. How they had to go see Dr. Coleman after they did an outpatient treatment after they got out of the mental hospital. They don't want to tell you that part, why they hate men so much. They don't want to tell you that. They don't want to tell you that part of the story. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to tell you that they had to take a bottle of Depakote for a while because they blew their mind trying to keep their boyfriend in check, and he left them and went to go back with his baby mama or something. And that one incident caused them to hate all men and start a YouTube channel. They don't want to tell you that part of the story. They'll tell their homegirls or but they won't tell their audience that. And it's like, yeah, those are the people you're dealing with. You can see it in their eyes. Like, I can see a crazy person. I can see the wide eyes tell a lot of what's going on. Like, I ain't gonna lie, like, you look at them eyes on them videos, them thumbnails, them big ass, like the eyes is like damn near look like two people holding a tweezer on the eyeball sockets and keeping them wide open. And that's from like long sleep deprivation, serious worrying and concern, as well as trying to be a perfectionist to a certain degree. And that's definitely, I mean, I don't have to be a psychiatrist to point that out. You know, that's definitely, you know, and people are listening to these people that are not telling them that, yeah, I had to go take a prescription because I had a nervous breakdown in college, or after I got out of college, when I first started my career, and my boyfriend left me, and he didn't want to talk to me anymore, and I said I was going to kill myself. And the doctor described me Depakote and lithium. I didn't want to take it, but I just did it for the greater. I mean, that's people are closet homosexuals, like Alan Roger Curry said, closet homosexuals, closet mentally ill, closet drug addicts, closeted autistic people on the spectrum, closeted even worse than that, pedos, closeted every aspect of life. And online, you will not know. You can on the internet is the greatest. It's like the internet is like basically Peter Pan. It's like Never Land. You can go, and you've seen people do this. People literally go on the internet and they pretend to be somebody else. And then you start asking them questions and it don't align. And then you start investigating. And then you find out this person is basically lying about his whole fucking lifestyle, and it's like, okay, this person basically is pretending. And it's, people do that, it's, just literally open up the internet browser and start flying with the Tooth Fairy, or what was it, Tinkerbell. Start flying with Tinkerbell, and then try to avoid. I forgot what that captain is named. I forgot that shit. Yeah, man. Trying to avoid getting caught to what's that island's name? The island was called something. Treasure Island. Shit, I forgot the name of the island. But yeah, man, I mean, that's what people do, man. They just, hey, open up the browser and cut and start acting. Start being somebody totally different than who they are. Like you, I posted, yeah. I'm pretty sure I did. Like, it was something about how people be faking it till they make it. Like, it was some rappers that they was talking about how they sold some drugs or something. They spit a couple verses real quick. And the rap was like, I did absolutely none of that. Like, that was just me spitting the verse. The dude, he had a whole bunch of chains. He said, these chains, none of these chains are mine. These, it's a video prop, And it's like, yeah, I mean, it's, whatever, man. But at the end of the day, man, whatever I triggered you, I thought about doing like maybe I should do it if I triggered you show. But I don't think nobody would have the heart to really say, man, you really triggered me. Broke Genius, you triggered me, man. That's why I don't watch you no more. I'm a broke, dusty bum with no outlook and hope. And you called it out. And I just don't want to hear that shit no more. I mean, I know, I go listen to the women. I'd rather listen to them call me a dusty bum than you. At least they got some, it's some opportunity. Maybe I can DM them if they, give me they give out the Instagram. But you calling me, you calling me broke, and I just, I get tired of that, man. I'd rather listen to the women call me broke. At least I'm listening to a woman and her voice, and she's saying the same thing and even worse. I just listen to her and hang out in her chat. Hey man, you gotta understand, man. I'm living my life. I got bigger things to concern myself with, man. My oldest daughter got a cell phone, so uh, I'm it. I got a house to fix up. Uh, I'm trying to get me another house. I got cars that I want to get. I got life, man. I'm not worried about what somebody said on YouTube, man. Do I get triggered? Yeah, I get triggered. I get triggered like a motherfucker, man. When it's like if somebody's speaking the truth, it is gonna trigger you. That's why people go to church, man. A good preacher, gonna trigger your ass. If he really triggering, he already know your business because everybody talk, and he just be in the pulpit listening to everybody talking, or he know everybody and talk to everybody. So the pastor know everybody business. So he gonna look at your ass and then give a sermon and say, whatever you say, he gonna look right at your ass while he say it, because he already know your business. And he just gonna he gonna preach and then look right at you while he preaching. Well, a lot of men could be our preachers. Here's the funny thing about a lot of times when you hear a preacher or somebody, a real devout Christian or whatever, they say, man, it's a calling on you. I feel a calling. They always say, hey, I feel a calling. Yeah, you got a calling. And it's like anybody can be taught to preach. Some are better than others. But yeah, I mean, I used to say this, like, guarantee you could become a millionaire in the hood if you're a preacher, if you got a chicken joint or a barbecue joint. Guarantee you're gonna be a millionaire over time, in the liquor store. And I know that's very limited as far as saying that, but a lot of people have low expectations, man. They live in lowered expectations. And like I said again, I mean, I was not born with no silver spoon. Okay. My daughters were, but I was not. And I have to remind them, you got it good. You don't know it, but you have it good. Yeah. I get it. If you were raised and you didn't really have much, and I've heard people talk about this, stories about how they struggle. I remember this dude. I used to hang out with the old people at McDonald's long time ago. Like this one dude, he was very super genius. Like he knew how to work on cars, knew how to work on houses. He was like a handyman, and he was a coder. He knew how to program, primarily Visual Studio, basically C#.net. He made some program for kids to learn like math with like flashcards, and he would sell it to the schools to make some money. And then he was, one time he was, I think he was like a teacher or a substitute teacher for a school. So anyway, this dude, he tell me a story about how when he was young, his mom had like basically was a single mom, and this was, I guess, the 70s, and he him and his siblings, they had to split a Snickers bar. And it's like the mom didn't have no money, and she something happened, and I don't know, she just didn't have no money. Her check didn't come or something like that, and they had to split a Snickers bar. And I don't know all of the backstory with that and all that. Women, a lot of times, here's the thing too with that, like a lot of times women be they be so egotistical, they don't want to ask nobody for no help. So they'll just struggle, and then of course, if they have children, they're gonna struggle with them. That's why it goes back to, um, basically, men are better at being single and with children than women, because man gonna go out, he don't give a fuck if he gotta go get a sign and get in bed for change to get some money. He gonna do it, for his children. I mean, what, I'll be goddamned if I have my daughter split a Snickers bar because I don't have no fucking money, But I didn't tell him that. But I'm just, I didn't have no story like that. I was eating steaks, crab, chicken, lobster. Every now and again, we would go to Red Lobster, like probably maybe once, maybe once on average, every 2 years, go to Red. I know Red Lobster ain't no big deal, but when I was younger, I thought Red Lobster, I thought Red Lobster was like a 5-star restaurant. That's what I thought Red Lobster was. But I guess now in today's society, where everybody makes over $100,000 a year, and don't talk to me unless you make $200,000 or better, Red Lobster is just a chain restaurant. That's offensive to take me to Red Lobster. But that's I don't fall for none of that. That I don't fall for it, but yeah, I didn't raise. I wouldn't. I mean, food wasn't no issue. Now, other things were. I'll be honest, like electric bills, phone bills, gas bills. Yeah, those were issues. I mean, it was times where the electricity was off. There wasn't a snowstorm or a bad wind gust or whatever. The bill just wasn't paid, and then candles came out. Yeah, for real. But yeah, food. Nah, it might have been. I ain't want to eat what my mother. My mother had different taste buds than I had. Like she would like serve liver and shit like that. Like I didn't like. I didn't like liver. I haven't had liver since I was a little kid, and I would love to keep it that way. Um, yeah, I haven't had liver. I can't remember since the last time I had liver. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. I really don't. But yeah, that wasn't my problem. You know that wasn't an issue. Food wasn't never. I could never recall any time where food was an issue. Uh, it was like other things that was an issue. Man. Housing was an issue as far as paying the bills and all of that, paying mortgages. That was definitely a constant complaint by both of my parents, obviously. But uh, you know, car repair bills was an issue. Um, Fixing the house and all that. But yeah, man, I don't really, I don't know. I mean, I know people got their struggles and stuff that they had to overcome. They have, parents that really just don't have that much, you know, and they don't really have that much to go off of. Your parents supposed to springboard you to a better destination or a better place, and if you don't really have much to springboard, then you just basically, you got a springboard, and then, it's just like going from zero to a hero. It's very, very difficult. It's possible if people have done it. I know quite a few people that have done it. I mean, I can say that, I did have some support, when I was younger. Um, I'm not ashamed to admit that. I mean, I know people that I went to school with people that they mom, and dad bought them a car, brand new car, and they used to get money. They used to, I mean, they never had to work like in high school and stuff like that because they can get all the clothes they want and all that. And then I don't know. I mean, that same person, man. He kind of was telling me later what happened. Like, everything wasn't what you thought it was. Like, cause his house his house was moldy. He used to come to school moldy. They used to make fun of him as tripped out because like he was real fly, but he was moldy. Like he used to come to school moldy, like smelling like mold because um all the house has to do is flood one time. And if you don't do the mold remediation, and then mold remediation costs a lot of money to do. I really don't know how much it costs to do mold remediation, but it does cost. And if you don't pay it, if you don't get it done in mold, you have to get on it right away. There you go. You got a house full of mold. And then it's going to stay that way. It's going to turn into algae, really, like green moss and shit. Like, and your whole house is literally going to smell like mold. Eventually it'll start decaying, like because most houses have wood frames. So the mold will spread in the wood and it'll start decaying. Like, um, yeah, yeah, I, oh man, I got some stories, but I ain't about to tell all my stories now. But there's some, let's just say it's some women that I know that they had mold in their house. Um, yeah, that stuff it also gets in your lungs, it gets in your brain. Like it causes a lot of problems. That mold, man. And if you're a lot of women don't really know how to. If you're a single mom, which his mom was, he broke up with his dad. Like you don't really know how to deal with no house. You know, don't really know. A lot of times, uh, yeah, a lot of times, woman is getting probably a house for the first time, and a lot of times women they don't want to ask nobody for help, so they'll just struggle. Just based off of them not asking nobody. And that's pride. That's why, there's the seven deadly sins. One of the things that I do agree with, is that seven deadly sins, that pride and ego. Pride and ego is very similar. So in order for you not to have to beg, that, and that goes down that road of why women remain single, why women don't want to submit, why women don't want to be told what to do. All of that shit is based off of pride. It's a fucking, um it's a mental illness, you know. Some people even say it's a demon if you want to go down that road. And yeah, I mean, suffering in silence. Like, I'm not just gonna say women just do that. I mean, obviously both men and women do that. A lot of times people don't really wanna they don't want to ask anybody for any help. I mean, it does happen. But you gotta remind yourself, like, you gotta snap out of that shit. You gotta, hey man, this was going on, whatever. Now you know who, as an adult, you know who can help you and who can't. You already know. If you know by the time a certain age, you know who can help you and who can't. And I had to learn, okay, this person cannot help me, so I don't. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've had this conclusion a long time ago. People that can't help me, or whatever, I just don't want to be, associated with them anymore. Because at the end of the day, here's the thing, right? If your friend can't, at least if your friend, you can't call you and you at least put $100 on his I-bond or something like that or whatever, uh call somebody, call his, you know look up somebody's name and call his lawyer for him because he's at the local jailhouse somewhere. If a person can't at least get you out of a little small jam like that, and then the more money you make, the more that should be upgraded. But if your friends can't help you, and it's not because, well, a lot of times, well, sometimes it might be because they can't. Some people just can't help you, and then that's a whole nother story. I mean, it's still the same, but then you got people that can, and obviously those people are not your friends. You got to read books, and if you can't, watch movies and stuff too. That's important, like the Count of Monte Cristo. That's a good story about friends. That was what I got from that. When I watched that movie, I never read the book, but when I saw that movie, I understood, you know, um, what that was about. That man, he thought his friend was his friend, but it turned out to be his enemy. That was not his friend, and he snaked him. He was a good, highly skilled sword fighter. He wasn't, and he ended up in prison. But that a lot of people don't know till it's too late that their friends are really not their friends. Some people say that you really don't have any friends, but I don't believe that. You even see that in the animal kingdom, like people helping each other out. Some lions, fighting off some hyenas, you know, and so that's you got to decide, who's your friend and who's not. I would say money and physical combat will tell you who's your friend or not. If you get in a bar fight or get in a fight and your friend don't help you, unfortunately, it might even be because he can't. He might be, too scared or coward, whatever. He's just not your friend. Or he, I don't know. I mean, it just, you got to look at it that way, man. And if you don't, you teaching somebody, how how they supposed to treat you and all that, man. Because You know, if you around somebody, man, and they watching you getting jumped, they watching you getting your clock clean, and they just watching you, and it's two or three people, so definitely it ain't one on one. It's just you literally are getting jumped. Um, you can be like, man, don't never motherfucker, don't come around me no more. Don't come to fuck around me no motherfucking more. You ain't even help me, man. These people trying to motherfucking uh knock my ass up, beat the shit out of me, man, and you ain't even help me. Um, because that's how you could test that. This person don't even want to, help, if something happened, this dude he just gonna cut and run or just gonna watch you, you know. And then if somebody don't want to put no money up, people don't want to put no money up. I'm gonna tell you, man, that's the that's the ultimate, man. Not even ultimate, but yeah, people probably it'll even people that probably help fight, but they won't put no money up to start nothing. They won't put no money up to start a business or something like that. And then secondly, it don't even stop there. They put the money up and then they don't follow through with it. Because you can't just put some money up. It don't stop there. You gotta keep putting the money up till everything is settled, till the deal is finalized. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you gonna find out, man, who's who, one way or another. And and a lot of times you already really knew, you just ignored it. For example, a lot of times people forget things, or they overlook things. Like, I've said this before, but I'll say it again. Um, I don't think I said, I probably just made a meme about this, but on my Facebook page. But if you really look at it, right? So if a dude is basically dogging women, right? Treating women like utter shit, treating even his baby mama like utter shit, like not giving a fuck about his own the mother of his children, right? What make you think you as a man, you as his so-called friend, he's going to treat you anything better than that? This is the woman that, I mean, you know what I'm saying? They had, she did everything. She done sucked on him, goddamn it, busted open for him, let him, do whatever. And she got a baby by this dude. He leave her for, to the wolves, right? What make you think this motherfucker has got your best interests at heart? Right there, boom, and cut, pause. What make you think the motherfucker like that gonna cause you a dude, you a hard leg. Like when I was coming up, they call dudes hard legs. Just a, whole bunch of dudes. Some people call it a sausage fest, but we call it where I was from, we call it hard leg. What make you think a hard leg is going pretty much he gonna treat you better than he do a woman that gives him the ultimate joy, and it's like, you forget things like that, and overlook certain things like that. And yeah, I mean, if you know what I'm saying, it's like, right, just that right there, that's where you got things messed up. You overlooked that part, you overlooked. Yep, you overlooked it. But yeah, I mean, I triggered a lot of people, man. Triggered a lot of people, man. Yep, sure did. Uh, I mean, the best is yet to come. Best is yet to come. I'm just getting started. I'm trying to be like saving minus debt. I want the carb the fucking 6 pack. I mean, I'm taller than he is. I want the muscles. I mean, I already got muscles, but I'm gonna start lifting and try to maybe do calisthenics. I don't know. And I'm just gonna have these big ass. I'm gonna have some media man arms. Me having media man arms is nothing. It's just me going to the weight room. I'ma just motherfucking goddamn it. Um, have my shit on swole. and then still come back talking shit. So it's like, you know, dude calling y'all slaves, man, with a whole 6 pack, big ass arms, you know what I'm saying? Calling y'all slaves. Dude doing side pole pull-ups and shit, calling y'all debt slaves. And then a lot of y'all is out of shape, ain't had a 6 pack since you was in uh, you know freshman high school. You know what I'm saying? Like, uh, ain't had a 6 pack since Coors Light was in style. I mean, um, yeah, man. I mean, that's called that's maximum self improvement. So maximum self improvement, man. It's like, shoot, you gotta be healthy, man. Your best, if you could be your best self, that's the best. That's the best thing you could be, man. Your best self. Uh, yeah, yep. Be your best self. Mm. Mm. Cause a lot of times I'm gonna tell you like with Virgos, right? This is a secret with Virgos. It's not a secret, but it's something, you know, something with it, right? A lot of times people they'll discount somebody, right? And then boom, motherfucker goddamn glow up on your ass. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker do the work, whatever's required. And then boom, you know what I'm saying? Glowing, flowing, looking good. You're like, what the fuck? Is this a whole nother person? Y'all don't know how many times that's happened. It's kind of like, you take pics and you just look an absolute mess. And then you take a picture and you glowing and flowing, looking good. I mean, it happens, man. It's like, you know, and then some people they just stuck. They just stuck. I mean, those people, you know, their diet is absolute, um, waste management. And they possibly, I would say, know that, but just, a lot of people just don't care. They just give up and just, It was good for mama. It was good for me. Like, I don't know. I don't know what people think, but you know, man, shoot. I still haven't. I said I was gonna make like a collage, like something to like a picture board, of the pros and cons of certain diets or whatever. But yeah, man, it's you know, the whole health thing, man, is like that's really what you should really be focused on, at the end of the day, because money, yeah, you got to do that, but the thing is, like, your health is something you don't need no money to work on. You just need action. You need action to work on that. You need to do what is required, to have the discipline to do it, get it done, and keep doing it. You know, it sounds easier said than done. Don't get me wrong. I mean, obviously it's challenging, but you don't necessarily need no money to work on that. You need to formulate some type of ability to do it. You got kids, okay? Yeah, it's hard, but just they gonna see you doing it, and they gonna, you know, they might want to start doing. You see your kids all of a sudden they gonna start doing push-ups. They gonna, your children follow you. They want to be like you in a way, you know. So yeah, I mean, whatever you do, they're gonna probably try to copy it, in one way or another, So turn that TV off, having some type of routine and continuing to the routine, and then if you want to watch some TV later, you can watch that, but at least, get some burn in or whatever. Um, I find myself, I ain't gonna lie, like doing this actually helps me work out longer. So I don't know, man. Maybe if you have a problem working out, you need to, I don't know, go live on Instagram or something. I mean, I don't know. And just with Instagram, you could just cut the feed. You don't have to have it up. You can, you know, you can turn the feed off or whatever, like, or delete the video. I don't know how they do. I've gone live on Instagram, but that's been a long time ago. You can have a conversation with somebody. You know what I mean? As a woman, you could, that's where you could use a beta orbiter. You get on your machine and you start talking to your beta orbiter for an hour. Every time you want to work out because you need somebody to just distract you, you talk to your beta orbiter. You know, uh, yeah. I mean, whatever you could do, as long as you do it. I mean, that's all. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I noticed that they trying to make it real difficult for people to play basketball. Like, I noticed, like, it's like they don't want you to play basketball. Like, they really, like, if you really see the shit, like, you see it, like, damn, why is it so hard for me to play basketball? And then you see the shit and you like, and you want to play the basketball you want to play. Like, I want to go, play in the gym, play in a hardwood floor. It's like, I mean, where I live now, like, you got to damn near rent a gym. I mean, you can go join a YMCA or whatever, but you know, I ain't really trying to join the YMCA, man. Don't crack on me about that, man. Don't crack on me. Don't make a clip, man, because I mentioned YMCA. No, I'm not. I'm not. I never went to a Diddy party. No. But the thing is that, yeah, it's like, that's what I really like doing, playing basketball. But it seems rather difficult to do so. But I'm gonna try to find a way. Try to find a way. Um, I might have to join this. Here's the thing, right? This is what I think they closed that LA Fitness. It's like a LA Fitness. What was that LA Fitness? It's like in Lansing. I think they went out of business in that location, but LA Fitness, man, is horrible as far as like when you telling them you want to cancel your membership, they are absolutely horrible. It's certain companies that I'm you people should absolutely start documenting this and even filing a lawsuit or something, man, because like I hate companies, and there's so many companies that, right, they slick, right? You think the dope boys and Pookie and Ray Ray and the Thuggos are slick? No, not just them. Multi-billion-dollar companies and stuff like that are also slick and are just as much crooks as your local Thuggo. Okay, let me tell you something about LA Fitness, right? You call them over the phone and you say, I want to cancel my membership. They'll say, okay, yeah, we'll cancel it. And they all in on it. They won't cancel the membership. And you know what you have to do? You have to literally cancel your credit card or debit card and then get another one. And they'll still try to charge that card, and then they'll eventually basically get the hint like, oh, okay, this card doesn't work anymore. He knows about what's going on. And then they're gonna call you, and then okay, they're gonna call you right after you cancel the card, and then you say, I told y'all I want to cancel my membership, and y'all didn't listen. Then they just gonna get off the phone immediately. Like these it's a lot of companies you can. I've even had Google charge my card when I cancel AdSense or basically a campaign with ads. And it's like, man, these companies, man, they think they can get away with it, and they would, you got to damn near, show screenshots of you canceling and everything like that, man, and file a lawsuit, and they just so big, you feel intimidated possibly that you can't get anything, but you can, and you certainly got to deal with them like they're shady, like people have these trusts in these companies, but they just as much as crooks, or even worse than your local Thuggo or whoever. It's white collar crime, man. It's a lot of white collar criminals, man, that you don't even hear about. They'll show some Keisha or whatever robbing a fucking train or a cargo van or whatever. Or show some hoodlums robbing some merchandise, and people be like, oh, look at these hoodlums, you know look at them, they'll put it in the post in the comment sections, Black Lives Matter, and it's like, Joshua McDaniels, just took $500 million or from his accountants, us companies accountants accounting books, and it's like, he just got sentenced in federal court. And it's like, okay, this dude took $500 million. Nobody thinks anything of it. Ain't no post talking about, all lives matter, nothing like that. And it's just like it gets swept right under the rug. But you show a bunch of broke ass ghetto people taking some stuff, and it's like, oh, these people are so bad. It's so, it's they're such criminals. Now I call out like Elizabeth Holmes, old girl that came up with that fictitious company talking about She can purify blood with robotic machines or something like that, or computer software or something like that. She can come back with results within an hour or two, or something like that. And she had actually people that actually died, people that died because their blood test results were inaccurate. She defrauded investors of over $50 billion, and nobody really said anything. They made a Netflix show about it or something, or a movie, or TV series on Apple TV or some shit, and nobody made any outcry or anything about it. Nobody says she's a crook. Nobody says that her parents should go to jail. None of that. I mean, well, I think one of her parents, I think she related to somebody else that basically stole a bunch of money. Yeah, she related to one of the people that was involved in Enron. Yeah, she's related to one of the executives at Enron, I believe. So I mean, I definitely, man, it's just, I don't know, man. It's just crazy how people, basically, they just don't look at what's going on. And I call it out, man. I definitely call stuff out. They was talking about Angel Reese or whatever and all that, and then I posted on Twitter a chick that had she had a master's degree in mathematics, and she's homeless. I ain't post no video and that. I just post a screenshot, boom, 3,000, what I'm saying, views. Um, I mean, I ain't saying education ain't important, but I mean, you got people on the street, man, with engineering degrees is homeless. Like, um, it's a disconnect there, from some end or another. You got people that went to college, and doing DoorDash, that got bachelor's degrees and master's degrees doing DoorDash. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, um, school is important, right? I remember, man, I ain't gonna never forget, man, when I used to live in a group home with white folks, man, and shit. White folks ran group home or whatever. And kind of similar DMX story. Um, they used to play Pink Floyd, like, um, that song "We Don't Need No Education." Like, what I'm saying, that's just what make me think. That's how I think about it. Like, these people, man, they have it. They say you want to, should get your education, and school is so important and everything, but then you you get homeless. They giving migrants housing, and you don't get none. They giving money to go fight some war overseas or whatever, and you bumming it out. Sleeping in sleeping under a bridge. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere. Like, yeah, it's crazy, man. That's why, man, I just deal with reality, man. You know, I never forget when I was in school, and I was in college, man, and I was working in this warehouse. Actually, ironically, it was a warehouse where they graded scantrons in Champaign, Illinois, and I was in this warehouse, and the one dude, he was an engineer. He had an engineering degree, but he was on crack. He was on crack though. He used to go give plasma just so he can give crack, so he can get more crack. Um, Another dude, we was in a warehouse. I'd never forget this shit. Like, I was making like $5 an hour, five something, 5.85. I don't know. And was like 90. What was this? 99. And this dude, man, basically was like older white dude, like middle aged white dude, about probably in his 50s or 60s. And he said he had a master's degree. No, he said he had two master's degrees, and he was working in the same um little goddamn garage that we was in, lifting boxes of Scantrons. And I'm like 18 years old, and I'm like, what the hell? What the huh? Because that was the first time that I basically, like, I was thought that you get a degree, you're gonna make some money, you're gonna, do well. Like my mom, she had a degree in uh education, she special education certification. I mean, she made pretty good money. Most of her peers, like, she made more than them. But that's what I thought. Like everybody, I thought everybody had a degree, made money, and they made money in a professional career of some sort. And when I was like, working or whatever for the Scantron company, I mean, this dude literally, had two master's degrees, lifting the same boxes I'm lifting. It's like, man, that was when I realized it's like weird. And then it goes even further, right? You know, I was selling Kirby's. I was selling like Kirby vacuum cleaners door to door. Down there. It's like Champaign is in like central Illinois. Like it's like about close to 200 miles south of Chicago. Uh, so this is like where I also realized, like, it's not necessarily about, you know education per se. It's more about, like, how do you know how to make money? How do you know how to make a living? And how do you know how to use money to invest, to leverage, to build up momentum? Because it's like, okay, these dudes, like, they was like living in an apartment together, and they was really good at selling Kirby's. And I think one or two of them, like one dude, he went to college. I think he graduated and had a degree too, and he was selling Kirby's. And I was like, it was just weird to me. And then I saw these same dudes. It was like this big ass like party, and I saw them at the party, and these dudes was like older, like they were like, in their late 20s, early 30s, and they just look odd. They just look strange at this like, you know arena or whatever, where it was a party, a college party. And I don't know, man. I don't know. It just seemed kind of strange. Like, um, and it's a lot of people like that. Like I've done live streams on, the statistics on people with graduate degrees. A lot of people with graduate degrees that's on welfare. Um, this is stuff that they, like, when you're young, they really don't want you to know. They do not want you to know that, because obviously that's going to make you, one, probably not want to go to college, uh and not take it seriously and stuff like that. Because the thing is like, the argument is, you need your education, right? Well, what is the education if I'm going to be homeless on the street, possibly? I'm going to be on food stamps. Why do I need to get in, 50,000, $100,000 debt to be on food stamps and homeless? And it's like, I mean, those questions, it's like it's kind of like a gamble. It's like, okay, well, they're not going to deny that that actually exists. That it's people that are homeless that are, a degree holders. I know a dude right now. I know a dude right now. He got a degree at the school I went to, University. I mean, Chicago State University, and he basically is broke and busted. I think he still gets like a SSI check. I promise you. I promise you on my on my what can I say? On my mama, I'm not lying. Like literally, like I mean, um, he got a degree. I don't know in what, but he basically uh he basically has no job. He just he just like he's just getting down how he live. And it's like maybe you should teach people how to get jobs. Like, okay, if you sell an education, part of the education should be how to get a job, how to build your resume, how to basically pay for, save money, for emergency, how to control your consumer spending. I mean, maybe certain elements like that might help. I don't know. I mean, people gonna do what they're gonna do. Certainly, whatever you think society is as a child or a teenager is absolutely worst. And if you don't have some type of system to deal with this system, basically you just your whatever money you're gonna have is gonna cannibalize itself. You know, that's why people go to work every day. Like I work with people that have been working. This one dude at my job, right? I work for a major company, right? Um, a large enterprise company. This dude, I definitely would never tell you until I probably no longer work there. You won't get it out of me, and you won't find out either. You know, but the thing is that this dude, he been working for the company, I think, for like 30 some years, 35 years, 36 years. And I'm looking at, I'm like, well, I get it. If you got somebody that, your parents were struggling or just, basically getting by, in your head, you like, I don't want to ever be like my parents. So I'm gonna just keep showing up to work. You know, I maybe that's what it is. I mean, I won't necessarily, I probably won't ask them. Maybe I will because my particular contract company that I work for, they're basically they lost the contract. So they have a whole new contract company that is basically taking over like next year. So I don't really know what's gonna happen. I'm looking for some more work as well as working on my businesses. Trying to find a way, trying to find some new opportunities for some revenue. I'm always thinking about that. But yeah, I mean, the thing is that yeah, dude, I've been working there for like damn near most of my life, and it's like you think about it, right? So you got that right, and then you got a dude that hit dot. He made over $1 million in Dogecoin, you know, with in the Dogecoin run. You know, we got another dude. he he made 5 million selling Airbnb for 2 years. And I don't know what dude make, but let's just say you make let's just say you make $100,000 or whatever. You know, that's every 10 years he makes $1 million. So he didn't make 100,000. $20 years ago. Probably half of that. When he first started, he probably only made like 30 grand or something like that. Back in the 90s. I mean, no, that would be the 80s, or late 80s or early 90s. So the thing is that the man probably the most he made in a 30 something years was like, give or take, $3 million. 30 years, $3 million. Now, that might sound like a lot of money to you, but it's people that make that within 10 seconds trading less than a minute. And I see it, and I know how it works. I literally, it's just math. It's just a matter of different digits. I mean, so it's like, the thing is that this thing, I be trying to tell people, I be trying to get it through your skin. This shit is got to be, you kind of have to take it, you definitely have to take it seriously, but it also is like to a certain degree, like fucking funny than a motherfucker, like a fucking joke. Like the shit is way out. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy because it's like that. I mean, that absolutely is true. I mean, when oil went up, okay, remember like when gasoline was like $5, $6 and shit. And it's always more in like California or whatever. In Chicago, I remember it being like over $5. This was back in like, I want to say 2007 or something like that, 2008. Now, they said Exxon and all of the oil companies, they were making $1 billion every hour. That's how much money they were making. They were making every second. They were making like over $100,000 every second. I have no concept about when I walk past. Okay, I used to come from my ex-girlfriend uh, apartment. I was on some homosexual shit, probably. Nah, I ain't no problem. I have to admit that I probably most likely I would categorize it as being a homosexual relationship. I was coming from her apartment. I was walking downtown to go to my store, my computer store. And I remember seeing the people with the drums and stuff. They was like protesting. There was like the 99% Occupy Wall Street. And I would just, I remember just walking past them, just like looking straight ahead. I think one of the white dudes looked at me, and I'm just like, okay, y'all the same dudes that was probably sniffing coke in high school, having a good time, fucking on everybody that you can fuck on, having, beer pong parties, having a good time, enjoying life. You know what I'm saying? Slacking off. You know what I'm saying? Then, the reality comes that life is fucking tough when you really don't have that much money. And you're just now waking up and realizing that shit. And it's like, I've been through that. I knew that from an early age. I grew up, I basically, when I was about 5 years old, I lived in the fucking ghetto. I was living in Bronzeville. Okay, Bronzeville in the 80s. It was still Bronzeville, but it was surrounded by projects, and it was called the low end because it was basically a bunch of bad. It was like the Bronx, how the Bronx
was in the 80s. Like it was fucking the gutter. Like, I mean, you like I was 5 years old. See, here's the thing people don't understand. Like, I was 5 years old already fighting. Typically, even 5 years. I mean, some 5-year-olds do have to fight. I'm talking about I'm fighting multiple other kids at 5 years old. You know, I'm fighting older kids and shit. So by the time I got to the suburbs, I'm already a seasoned, you know, fucking hood kid. You know, I mean, it's like, you know, I mean, of course I settled down, you know, whatever. But it's like, man, I've been, you know, you know, I've been fighting, man, since shit, like since I was a fucking damn near toddler and shit, man, growing up in the projects and shit, all in my fucking hoodlums and shit. You know, I saw all kind of shit, man, that I cannot unsee that I still remember. You know, all these memories just come, you know. I saw like, I ain't gonna tell what I saw, man. You gotta watch I think I talked about it. I don't know. I think it's on my broke stories. But man, I ain't about to bring that up. But yeah, man, I mean, it's like basically you know, I forgot why I said that, where I was linking that to. But yeah, life is hard. Yeah, that's why I was talking about Occupy Wall Street. Like, I already knew life was hard at a fucking early age. I, I didn't need to fucking, you know, get out of high school to remember that life was hard. I already knew life was hard when Ronald Reagan was giving government cheese, and they had government milk. They had milk powder, government cheese, and they had government eggs. The eggs was powder. You know, it's like 1985. You know, they had fucking canned ham and shit. All kind of crazy. You know, it was like, you know, this is what people were eating. Like, it was like FDA, I mean USDA farm raised handout food. You know, why they implement in Star Wars, motherfucking they at war with the Mujahideen in Afghanistan. They got a proxy war in Iraq and Iran. You know what I'm saying? And like, all of this shit was happening. I had absolutely no idea what was happening though. I give you that. Like, at 5 years old, 85, I wasn't watching no news, and I was watching He-Man, G.I. Joe, Thundercats. I didn't know nothing about no goddamn Mujahideen. You know, you see how I said it? Mujahideen. I had no fucking idea all of this shit was going on. Had no idea it was fucking the fucking Americans was funding the Mujahideen and supplying them weapons so they can, you know, basically fight off the Russians. Had no idea this was going on. Had no idea anything about no Cold War or no Iraq and Iran civil war or war that's got funded, you know, by the Americans. I had no idea about the Iran and Contra saga. I mean, as any kid should know. You know, but this shit was going on. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's, you know, the whole front, you know, all this stuff that was going on in Africa too. I mean, I had no idea. You know, I have no idea. But I just, you know, I used to hear my dad used to say, these people are wicked. That's what he used to. That's what he used to say. You know. But you know, I mean, he wasn't, he was talking about all kind of people, but you know, you know what I'm saying, he had to see, British, the British occupation in Ghana, and he had to see a lot of stuff, um, but they got they made it hard for the British to be there. They didn't just say, oh no, the British are great. It's no such thing as any, you know, they're great. They're fine. It's no such thing as you know racism. No, they made it hard for them. You know, they made it, and I'm just being PG about it. West Africa, they used to call, what they used to call West Africa? They used to call West Africa the white man's graveyard. I mean, they, they didn't have no, no problems, fight. I mean, they was fighting each other, but the thing is that yeah, a lot of things were happening, and I didn't know what was going on. I had no idea what the fuck was going on until later. I probably didn't know about all that till probably what I got probably until I got my early 20s or something like that. Like, what? This shit was going on? All this shit was going on? Like, what the fuck? Hell no. This shit was going on. Like, a lot of people still, like, they get older than that. They don't realize that went on. They have absolutely no understanding whatsoever. They have no fucking clue that went on. But it's it is what it is, man. That's why I play chess, man. That's why I play chess, man. This shit, this shit is real, man. It's chess, not checkers, man.